thank you for work that you've already done related to Western Visions. I know, especially you tell you have been visiting with Wendy about the benefactor suite and the menu, so thanks for doing all that in advance. And then a big thanks in advance for the work that you'll be doing in the next couple of weeks for the show and sale. So the purpose of the trainings this week, the one yesterday, the one today, and the one tomorrow will be all the same. We just offered 3 to capture everybody who needs to be informed about the events on staff and in the volunteer crew. So there's another one tomorrow afternoon, if you have a friend who maybe wasn't able to make it to yesterday or today's. And the purpose is to give a general overview of the events and some of the procedures that will be in place, and especially the changes that I'll reference sort of generally right now, and then as we go to a little bit more in detail, I'll explain them more thoroughly. So that change is big and really exciting for us. The goal of reducing the number of artists is to improve the quality and finesse of the show. So each of those 100 artists was invited to give us 3 things. They were elected to give us 3 things. So you see already in the King Gallery sketches. And you notice that not all 100 artists opted to give us that. That's fine. It's a 50% donation. I am revising the current labels. Those were sort of temporary labels, placeholders. We got the show up early, and I wanted to have something out there, but knowing that I needed to revise them on those labels, I will print those few artists who have given us their sketches at a 100% donation. Otherwise, that's a 50% donation, commission, or split between us and the artist, and some of them elected not to give us a sketch. So I think there's approximately 60 sketches in the King Gallery, in sort of the first 2/3 of the King Gallery. They were also invited to give us what we might have in previous years called a miniature. So we gave them size guidelines that once the show opens on Saturday morning, you'll see that some artists opted to give us one of those smaller pieces. It's not only 9 by 12 like we may have done in the past, but in that smaller range. And then finally they were invited to give us, if they wanted to, a 3rd piece, and we gave them bigger dimensions, what we might have called a more in the past. So all 100 artists were given the invitation to give us those 3 things. Some of them elected to give us 2, some of them elected to give us 1, some of them were invited and took us up on giving us 4. So one of the things that is new and different this year is we have more artwork for sale than we have ever had before. We have fewer artists, but they all gave us at least one thing, and many of them gave us multiple objects. So as you'll see in the show, we have very little room for signage. We have very little room for anything other than marvelous fine art. That is also reflected in the catalog. They just arrived. Thank you in advance for coming tomorrow at 2 o'clock to help us stuff these into bags. More about that in a minute. Just in advance of the 3 o'clock training. Another change that you're noticing is the redesign of the catalog. Sarah Nelson and I worked to revise this, make it look different, to reflect the changes. We think that this magazine style, instead of the previous square design, is more reflective of other museums that do shows and sales like this. Sarah and I did some research about what else is out there, and we wanted it to still look like our own. We chose different cover material, different paper. It looks a little different than some of the other shows and sales that you might attend, but this is the sort of standard format, more like a magazine, and we reduce the price. So those of you who in the past have worked that registration table or sold things know that we used to sell it for $45. This is now a $20 purchase.
Wow,
That's
So,
great.
yeah, just say 20 bucks. Thank you. We will ship it. Yep, if someone wants it, and for some reason doesn't want to purchase tickets to the parties, they get it if they purchase a $100 ticket to either the artist party or the show and sale. This is included in that purchase. But if they can't attend, don't want to attend, and they'd still like a catalog, we will ship it to them for $5.
All right.
So all of these, the changes are the 100 artists, sketches, paintings, and sculptures. You will notice the elimination of prints. So one of our sort of global goals is to simplify.
Okay.
To have the show be elite. It is an invitational to elevate its status, its participation, all of the events, and one of the ways to do that is to simplify it. One of the specific ways we did that was to take away the retail sales of the prints that had happened in the past in the Wapiti.
Yeah, okay.
Gone.
Okay.
Done. Sketches are for sale, intent to purchase, 50/50 cut. And again, I don't print that on the label, but somebody might ask, oh, what's the, this is a fundraiser for the museum. It's if it hasn't been indicated as a 100% donation on the label, it is a 50/50 cut in the sketches. For sale, here's another change, intent to purchase. Not silent bid.
Yes.
So last year and ever since we've had the sketches, they were for sale, silent bids with increases incrementally via for years past. We did it on a piece of paper for the first few years, stressfully, and then we moved to the bidding devices. Also very stressful, very stressful. Some of us were charged with proxy bidding last year. It's stressful to have that. So again, in the interest of simplicity, customer service, visitor experience, elevation of the show, silent bid, gone.
So it's only one price and
set
it's
price.
just intent.
An intent to purchase. So let me give you a quick definition. There's a thorough explanation in your packet.
Okay.
Intent to purchase means there is a set price. It was determined by the artist. Okay? It's not going anywhere. It's not changing. Set price. So the bidders, when they purchase a bidding card, and I might reference for the first handout in here is just a quick photocopy of the RSVP card that was an insert in the Western Vision's invitation, and it shows you all of the purchase options that guests and visitors have. So you'll notice a benefactor's ticket, $500, a jewelry and artisan luncheon ticket, $100. You'll notice in the interest of the Wild 100, I kept it very simplified for the pricing. Jewelry and artisan luncheon, if you have a reserve table of 8, that will be $1,000. So you notice that is an additional $200 donation for the folks who choose to do that. Instead of buying just 8 tickets, that would cost $800. If for the option of pre-selecting the people who you sit with, you will pay $200 more. Wild 100 Artist Party, $100. Wild 100 Show and Sale, $100. Bidding only. Okay, so Diane, bidding only means you get a card for $50. And that gives you the right to bid, the capability to bid on any of the objects in the show and sale. We will have hundreds of these around in the galleries in baskets. We are not going to hang them on the wall this year. We don't have room. And I don't like the way it looks. So these will be in baskets scattered about so that any bidder can pick this up, or any of us who are wandering around in the galleries can assist with bidding.
So there's no numbers on those cards?
Yes, there absolutely are numbers.
Okay, that's what
and we have to have a number.
Okay, that's what I wanted.
Without a number.
Okay.
So the bidder enters, puts their card in the device. There'll be a more thorough training about this next week. Don't fret. Then each object has a number as well, a lot number on the label. They simply enter, the device reads their bidder number. They enter the lot number, push the green button. Their bidding number is put into a virtual digital box for that item. Bidding is open until 7 p.m. on Friday, September 12th. Again, this sounds all familiar to all of us who've done it before. Nothing has changed in that regard. 7 p.m. the bidding closes with these digital devices. It's wonderful because the computers slam shut. Done. 7 o'clock. At which time, Diane, part of our computer programming does a random selection for each item that was for sale intended to purchase. Right? Random draw. In years past, it helps to give a visual. In years past, let's remember these horrible boxes that were paper boxes hung on the wall, and each shopper, each bidder, then had little strips of paper that had their number or name on it, folded it up, put it in the box. At the end of the night, the staff would take the boxes off the wall, open the boxes up, and pull out a new.
We were blindfolded.
It was watching us. It was intense.
Yeah. So now the computer does it for us. It's much more efficient. It's much more accurate. Eliminates all kinds of frustrations and stress and problems. That's what intent to purchase means. Intent to purchase for the shopper means if you put your bid number in there, you are promising to pay for the painting when your number is drawn.
Okay.
Does that make sense? There's no negotiating. It's not a silent bid.
Not based on the timing
Nope.
of when you
Nope. It's
bid.
literally luck of the random draw. Nope. Absolutely not.
Completely random.
Absolutely not. We would not sell as much art as we would want to if we did it that way.
Now, where are there going to be clocks? So
Not
that
as many.
people know. The benefactor suite,
If you put in a request for that, Becky's decision right now is that there will not be as many clocks hanging. Again, wall space is at an amazing premium, and we're being very careful for the look of the show to be clean and beautiful and not cluttered by bidding devices and television screens. No need for television screens because we're not doing silent bidding. And these not hung on the wall. So right now we'll have a clock here at the end of the king, and Dick Hollister is going to be our MC, and he will be, we have the sound system rigged throughout the galleries just like we have in years past, and he will be talking.
I guess I need to talk to Becky, because sometimes in the benefactor suite, there was a real problem.
Yes.
And whether the devices will work in the benefactor suite or if they have to go out. Because a lot of people will, maybe it doesn't matter this year since they
Right, the
don't bid
elimination,
out.
the simplification of the elimination of the silent
That'll make a
bidding
difference.
will erase a lot
That'll
of those
eliminate that,
issues, I
right.
think. These should definitely work. They have worked in the benefactor suite in past. I know that I sat in there and did my proxy bidding last year, so
Okay,
I
last
know it
year.
worked.
One fourth didn't.
But yeah, we're hoping that the silent bidding, it's really going to be that 7 o'clock hour. That did you get your bid in?
Yeah.
But it's not going to be. We're not going to be
different.
standing
Right.
next to each other fretting about who got the bid in last.
And the sound
Because it doesn't
system,
It's
matter.
going to make a difference.
the sound
Yeah.
system will also say in all the galleries what time it is in the countdown.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter now.
Awesome.
Really, it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter anymore.
Right.
We hope that we have eliminated that sort of frenzy, that frantic frustration for all customers and staff included who are doing proxy bidding by erasing the silent bid
Is there
process.
any silent bid?
No silent bid.
No silent bid.
Silent bid. No silent bidding.
So I have to make sure they understand that.
Gone the way of
because
the
they'll
prince.
come in
Done.
and
None of
expect
it.
to do it.
Diane?
So when will the results be known then?
Okay, so hold on, I will get to that, I will get to that. So the process of, just wanted to make sure you had a sense of what intent to purchase means. The one other form of bidding will be on 16 selected items. When the show opens, you'll see them, and it's very visually obvious. 16 items, 15 paintings, and one new feature of the show and sale this year is an expedition that was donated by National Geographic and Lindblad Expeditions. Bidders for that sealed bid, which I'll explain in just a second, are selecting, if they get the highest bid, they would select between a trip to the Galapagos Islands on a National Geographic boat, a trip to Alaska on a National Geographic boat, or a trip to the Panama Canal and Costa Rica on a National Geographic boat.
It's not all three, it's just
You would choose one of those. If you're
There's
really
only
the
one
highest
that's
bidder,
raffle,
there's
is
only
that
one.
what that is?
Is that the
So-
raffle?
No,
No.
no.
No. So, and all of this is in the catalog and online, all of these sealed bids. In the catalog, they are designated with a really cool little icon that Sarah designed this with our color scheme. That little circle shows you which items are available sealed bid. So these sealed bids really does go to the highest bidder, but not in an incremental ratcheting up
They put
at a
in
time.
one bid.
You put in one bid. So I might look at this poster that has been labeled as $5. I say, you know what, I'm willing to pay $50 for that. Enter it, $50, it records it as my bid. Teddy Lou comes along and says, I'm willing to pay $75 for
But
that.
you don't know you paid
They
50.
don't. So that people might, if they're chatting during a cocktail party, I might be wandering around and say, oh my gosh, I just love that poster. I put in a bid for $50. Teddy Lou is so more sober than I am at the moment. He says, great, that's really cool. She goes, I got a bid 55.
Yeah.
And enters it. So there's potential for sort of cocktail conversational
But not
bidding,
to
but
put a second bid in to
No.
upwards.
no. Now you could, like if during that 3-hour cocktail party you realized, oh my gosh, I know that Teddy Lou upbid me.
Okay, so
I
at the
can go
very
in
end,
and
though,
do it again.
Oh,
at the very
okay,
end,
you
we're
can
not
do
gonna
it
have people
again.
trying to be the last person to
It won't
bid
matter.
in.
Doesn't matter. Timing won't
Still won't
matter. Once you put your high number in, done.
So the name of the person won't show up, of course, right?
So,
No,
No
no.
one will
That
see
we did.
anything.
Okay, so Maggie, your question is, with the elimination of silent bid, also is the elimination of any need for monitors, or there's no information that's gonna come up and say, high bid, this and that, there have been 20 bids put in. Nope.
Okay, you just put in your highest bid right away. That's awesome.
Bid more than once.
Yeah,
You can.
and one thing that we could be doing in the gallery is reminding people of that, so that if they're really passionate about a piece, you know, we can say, well, you know, I would put in whatever you're willing to pay, so that at 7 o'clock someone's not like, darn it, you know, I really would have done X
But
amount.
yes, that's true, but I think that we can be crystal clear if we just explain the difference between sealed bidding
Yeah.
and silent bidding. Sealed bidding is you put your maximum price in straight away.
So they could
Straight
do that on Sunday.
Yeah, on Sunday, right? They
Yeah.
see, for the Lindblad Expeditions, a starting price of $11,500. Someone can, on Saturday, when the show opens, say, I'm bidding $50,000. Done.
And
If
but
so,
it-
chances are they're going to win. Great, we're happy.
IML captures all of that. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the difference. A sealed bid is like, again, a visual, like hard paper thing. I write my bid on a piece of paper, I put it in an envelope, I put it in the box. Those of us in the past who lived through this, at the end of at 7:02, we opened the box, opened the envelopes, and it went to the highest bidder.
And to
Done.
reiterate that, that means that if you're serving as a gallery guide, you know, next week or something, and someone comes in,
Right.
this is great for the visitors, because if they're just coming through town and they stumble upon the show and sale, they have just as good a chance of getting a piece as someone that's there for one of the events.
Right. That's right. It eliminates the need to be at the party at 6:59 because we have done away with silent bidding.
so the sealed bid is done with the card also?
Correct. All bidding is digital. is a cool, super cool map that Andre designed that has color coding for the location of each of the portions of the show.
That's nice.
The sketch show and sale is in green lines down most of the king.
That's huge.
The featured artists and sealed bids are in that sort of, yeah, like rust color, I guess, sort of brighter red,
Okay.
is Gilcrease Gallery featured artists and sealed bids. There will be a few of the alphabetically sorted Wild 100 in there as well, just because we need the room. So a few will be in
Okay.
Gilcrease. And then the rest of the Wild 100 will be Changing Visions, Bison, and this southern end of King. So Bobby, what you noticed is like, that
Yeah.
doesn't look like a sketch,
Okay, great.
is, you know, this end, the southern end of the
Okay.
King Gallery. So that's another change, but thank you for bringing up another change that we hope, yesterday it was met with almost applause. In years
Well, it took
past,
forever to get
all of
that
you
stuff
remember
together.
that we had these boxes,
Yeah.
these folders
Yeah.
with all their flyers and stuff, and their a sticker on the top that had their name and their bidder number and all this stuff in
They'll be
boxes.
around in
Um,
baskets.
At the registration desk that will be set up in the lobby, just to the left of the shop. On Saturday morning, I will be here from 10 to 2, manning the registration table for the first day of the show. Changing completely. This year, we ordered canvas bags that have the label and Wild 100 show and sale on it, and our logo. In that bag will be catalogs, and these are generic. These bags are generic. We will be stuffing them
So we don't
tomorrow,
have
so
to
you will
keep
know
track
exactly
of
what's in them.
numbers.
Some flyers from galleries that paid for advertising, Astoria,
Yeah.
Fine Art Connoisseur, a
Yeah.
few others that will have their collateral in the bag, and a catalog in the bag, and that's it.
Will there be
In a
directions?
separate box
Oh, okay.
will be name tags that if, when the person comes and says, oh, I pre-registered, great, we can find your name tag. Here you go. And you pre-registered, we've pre-assigned you a bidding card number. Great, here's your bidding card. So we will hand them the bag, their name tag, their bidding card. Whenever they show up and get that, we know some of them will show up starting on Saturday, most of them won't show up until September 11th. We are placing a great amount of trust in our guests this year to keep track of their own card. Please, just like you do your credit card, just like you do your telephone, just like you do your room key.
Right, right.
What if they want us to?
Don't advertise it, please.
Yeah, no, of course
If
not.
someone asks, you know, like I'm terrible, I lose everything, would you please, please, please keep this? We will make an exception.
We'll just put it back in the alpha sort.
Right. But for the most part, those of you who lived through it, this was an excessive amount of work every night to collect these bidding cards. And in addition to that, it caused great frustration at the end of the night when people had returned them and then forgotten their bidding number
Yeah,
and didn't know if they'd gotten any art.
yeah.
Bummer. So, keep your cards. Here's your card. Keep it, please. Come back with your card. And another change. Your name tag is your entry. No tickets. We don't need to have policemen at the door taking tickets. Now, we will keep track of the potential cheater, of which we don't think there are very many. On the name tag, we haven't decided exactly, but I had a, stress week dream of, let's put like a red sticker on the name tags that they purchase both the party and the sale. Some visual thing that those of us who are in the mezzanine greeting people, welcoming them, go, oh great, you're welcome tonight because you purchased a ticket to the artist party, and please keep your name tag and come back again tomorrow night. There just won't be tickets in addition to your name tag.
So they haven't pre-registered, you
Simplification.
make one with your name,
Makes
right there.
sense.
Yes.
Exactly. So that is another great segue. Any questions about these sort of global changes?
The bidding only people,
Uh-huh.
they get a catalog, or they have to buy
No.
a catalog?
We have to buy a catalog. And again, hopefully that is reflected here, that
Okay, so.
bidding
Okay.
only really is that, and then if they wanted a catalog, it would be in addition. Of course, the benefactor gets a catalog.
Yeah.
The jewelry luncheon does not get a catalog, so if a person purchases a ticket to the jewelry luncheon and also wants a catalog, great, they need to purchase that. But tickets to, that's what those asterisks next to the party and sale mean, you get a catalog for your $100. You get a ticket into the cocktail party and a catalog. And good clarification.
Is there an early cocktail party
No.
this year?
No, so Thursday is
West
5:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
And one of the changes this year as well, those of you who've attended that in the past know that it was a band and it was a really late night and it was dinner. It's 5:30 to 8:30. Elegant cocktail party. Time to go out to dinner after that. A DJ, not a band. Some music is necessary in a cocktail party. And, you know, hopefully a chance to mingle casually with the artists and visit and begin shopping. Then Friday night, also a change in the timing. Also 5:30, doors open. Bidding closes at 7. Presentation to follow. There will be music, a pianist, on Friday night. The menu is from 5:30 to 6:15-ish, appetizer, cocktail type party food. Cash bar both nights. Free wine both nights. Everything you want in the benefactor suite. At 6:15-ish, the food will change to dinner, buffet dinner, on Friday night, with the intention of encouraging people to stay and linger for the presentation to find out how many pieces they've gotten, you know, to elevate the energy of the party that night. The more festive than it has been the past few years. To feel, oh gosh, we really need to stay. We're going to see the presentation and see the bidder numbers and see if we've got works of art. So we anticipate that between 7:15-ish and 8:30, people will be lingering and having dinner and celebrating the fact that they got 20 pieces of art.
Amy, my question is, what will you know about who won what? How is that going to be announced?
We are going to have, just like we have done it in all the years past, a presentation will be projected, we think, onto the south wall. This will feel like a few years ago, with an MC, with a projection of the items. I mean, we've done it. We've done that every year, but it has been sort of fast and furious in the past few years, and you've had to go to a monitor and find your number and know your bidder number, and you know, we wouldn't necessarily have as much fanfare as we hope we will have this year, and an encouragement to linger. Maybe 10 years ago, those of you who remember it from the past, that it felt fun at the end of the night, to stick around and have dinner and continue to have cocktails and be excited about the purchases.
And the sculptures, how many of each sculpture are available?
It depends on what the artist
But I
sent
mean,
us.
there will be more than one.
Yeah.
In some cases.
In some cases. Now, if they've only paid for Friday night,
Mhm.
and they come here at 5:30, they've got to really get
They
going.
got a shot.
Because that's,
They
it's
have
only, well,
90
really,
minutes.
that's only an hour and a half.
They have 90 minutes.
And, okay, so they really got to get their rear in gear and get going.
But they could come early.
They can come
So-
on Saturday.
Yeah, right,
Tomorrow, yeah.
They can
yeah,
come on
exactly.
Saturday.
But if they're just there for
Closing the
that day.
museum
At
early
4 o'clock.
on both days?
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm just made that executive decision, but I think that we have to, so.
No, I agree, I agree with you there, I just wanna make sure, okay.
Maybe I missed it, but on Thursday, you said there's a cocktail party.
Yeah.
Is there hors d'oeuvres included?
Yes, so yes, it's a cocktail party with a cash bar, free wine, and past hors d'oeuvres for sure. Lovely food, just not enough to like qualify as dinner.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you. So changes to the times, changes to the sort of energy of the events.
So we're not doing any transactions that night? To be, they got art, it all stays there?
The show is intact
Yeah.
until September 21st.
Yes, cool. I know that's way looking ahead, but I just wanna make sure, yep, that's great.
And that's the same as in years past.
Okay.
There will be a more thorough training on the devices next week, but here is I think this is the same sort of screenshot that we've had for the past few years. We will have copies of this available, but this just is the very basic step 1, 2, 3 about how to use the devices. That is in your packet as well. On the left are the single sheets that are sort of just general information. On the right, the sort of comprehensive document that you might reference that I think I've covered most things about already is titled 2014 Western Vision's Guidelines for Sale. So there's a description of intent to purchase, a description of the sealed bidding process, even more specific information about tax deductibility, payment, shipping. I will jump ahead to what you see as page 2. The front of page 2 says some easy phrases, advice to encourage bidding. So please remember this is a sale. It is a fundraiser for the museum. And our first and foremost job is to try to sell the art. Very different than maybe what we're used to as educators or docents, where we feel like our primary job is to inform people and interpret the objects and tell stories that enhance their experience of a painting. All good. We also want to sell it. So please practice your sales pitches as you're wandering around in the galleries to encourage people to shop and help them understand the two types of bids, to help them understand that it is a fundraiser that supports the educational mission of the museum. It is our largest fundraiser annually. So all that information is in here as well. So another document on the right side of your folder is labeled Customer Service and Desk Duties. So another change that we hope will improve the visitor experience and our staff and volunteer experience is going to happen at the registration desk. Many of you in years past had been asked, or you had signed up to actually enter data into the auction management software that we have used, to actually register people. You will not be asked to do that this year. Andre, me, Carrie, Maggie, Becky, and a select handful of others, 2 others, we will be the data entry people. Andre and I would prefer to be the people making the mistakes. Because they happen, and they're hard to clean up after, and it's hard. We know it's a stressful part of the process. So at the registration desk every day, starting this Saturday, as I said, I will be there Saturday from 10 to 2. On weekends, one of us will be here for those 4 key hours. Starting September 2nd, during the weekdays, one of us, most likely Andre, Dean, will be there 9 to 5. We will be there. You will see on the Sign Up Genius that Carter and Carrie have an opportunity to assist us in the form of a welcomer, a greeter. So the other person at that desk is a customer service agent to help that customer feel happy about their experience, because it's going to take us a few minutes to enter their credit card number, to enter their name, to enter their address, to put all that information that we absolutely need into the database. So this other person's job will be to tell them about the show, get them excited.
Maybe show the catalog.
Show the catalog, you know, truly a customer service representative while the data management happens. So hopefully that feels like more fun, and that you might be willing to sign up to help at the registration desk where you weren't in years past, because it was scary and frustrating.
What's scary?
It was scary and complicated and frustrating. That's what this is about. You know, that you would help us at that registration table. And you would be giving them their bag, you know, and their name tag and their bidding card after it had been printed out.
Are they signing off for all those things as well?
What do you mean? Sorry, say it again.
Signing off?
I don't know that we've decided about that.
I mean, I know
that
that's
was a
not a
layer
big
that
deal,
we
but
may
yeah.
not.
Okay. When people pick up their packs, or bags now, they would sign off for them, saying that they picked them up.
Oh, right, yeah. Becky's uncomfortable asking people to like
Yeah,
have
I
to
don't-
sign a
I
whole
don't
bunch of
think so.
stuff,
That's what you
and
meant.
I
I
am
was just-
indifferent,
yeah.
so.
I don't think we're going to do that. I think our goal is to find some way in the electronic database to, you know, enter that picked up or
Right,
the date
right,
or something
yeah.
like that, instead of thumbing through those pages and trying to find their name on a
Yeah,
tiny
that
little
was-
line and get them to sign it, you know, that. Again,
Yeah.
we're trying to simplify overall goals, simplification, an elegant experience that is top notch, that is premier for the guest.
I agree.
I
Sounds good.
think it's awesome. I'm all for it.
So let's spend our last few minutes of that on the jewelry and artisan portion. Another massive change that we're really excited about is to have separated those two shows and sales. So instead of what we've lived with in the past several years, is the jewelry and artisan luncheon happening on the Wednesday of that Fall Arts Festival week, off-site somewhere, and then being in the lobby at the same time as the fine art show and sale. We have separated them. So the jewelry and artisan luncheon happens next week, September 3rd, a whole week earlier. It is indeed off-site. It is at the newly and beautifully renovated Snow King Resort.
So it's in the hotel, is that right?
The main
It is in the main hotel,
In the Grand Ballroom.
in the Grand Ballroom, and Hayden's Post. Yep, sort of all that upstairs part of the main hotel. Beautiful. It's going to be a lovely event. If you have yet to purchase your ticket, please do. We are fairly close to selling out with our tables of 8. You know,
How many do we have so far?
probably 180.
Great.
We haven't
70.
checked.
Yeah, 170.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so exciting.
If all
Yeah.
the people who said they're bringing guests for sponsorship give us their names, but yeah.
Yeah. So
250 max.
yeah, 250 max, and we're at probably 175, 180
Yeah.
today, which is a week left. So we're feeling really good about it, but we would love to sell it out. September 3rd.
Very cool.
And that will feel familiar. No major changes to that I can think of.
The raffle. Is
Oh,
not jewelry.
thank you. The raffle, and this is in your packet. You've got 2 handouts that relate to the jewelry show and sale. One is on the right-hand side. It says Jewelry and Artisan Sales Procedure, and that gives sort of a timeline. It gives the names of the featured artisans, gives the sponsors of the event, mentions the raffle that I'll explain more thoroughly in a moment. And the sales will be exactly like they have been in years past.
And we'll have 4 people for checkout, so hopefully it'll go faster.
Right, yeah, that's a change. 4 people.
That's good.
Yes, thank you. Instead of 2, right, that doubles the number of people processing the payments. And then, as Andrea referenced, this handout was presented to local businesses and organizations to contribute to our raffle. Those of you who have attended in the past know that the raffle items previously were single items donated by the artisans. We decided that was a lot to ask of them. They don't love to do it. So instead of that, Andre and Becky, with the help of development team, have worked hard to put together four packages, baskets, compilations of really amazing items. Each of the 4 baskets is worth approximately $2,000.
We changed it. So there's one that's worth $2,500 and the other approximately $1,000. And tickets are being sold for only $25 or $5 for $100. So, and they're all kind of amazing. So
Yeah.
I highly encourage you guys to let everyone know that we have some pretty epic raffle prizes coming out.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, really exciting. Very generous
People like
donations. Great.
Yeah,
I really
it's
do.
going to
I
be
think people
fun.
like that.
Carol Linton's the committee chair, and we came up with that idea together in the spring, and then have worked hard to.
And the ladies
collect
don't get a
items.
raffle ticket. Now they get a really cute bag instead.
Oh yes, thank you. So instead of the sort of door prize or the gift for purchasing your ticket was a free raffle ticket, we're not doing that. Instead, I hired Megan Stordahl, who many of you know, to make lovely bags. If you want to see one, they're in my office. Each guest will receive a bag handmade by Megan Stordahl, in which we hope they put their purchases.
And maybe need an extra plastic bag.
Right, they might even need a bigger bag, but they will at least get a beautiful small handmade bag.
There's no consignment table.
No consignment table, again, in simplification, no consignment table. No consignment table. So then the change is, just as in years past, all the jewelers and artisans moved here, but we're here during the show and sale. They are going to do that, but it will be Thursday and Friday of next week, the 4th and the 5th. And we have made that change for a whole host of reasons. We're really excited about it. We have a collaborative relationship with Allison Merritt, who owns the Western Design Conference, and we co-promoted each other's events. We're co-supporting each other's events. We do know that it's a risk because it is in advance of the official start of Fall Arts. So on that Thursday, September 4th, we have a free public event in the afternoon from 2 to 5. The artisans will be here beginning at opening by 9 o'clock. They'll be selling their merchandise, but from 2 to 5, we have publicized and continue to do so, a sparkling high tea, fun finger sandwiches and cookies and petit fours and iced tea, flavored iced tea. And that'll be hopefully pushed at the jewelry luncheon. Again, there are many women who attend the luncheon and then want to come back and shop more, or bring their friends who maybe weren't able to attend the luncheon. So that event will be in the lobby. All the artisans will be set up in the lobby on the 4th and the 5th, and the high tea food will be in the hallway between the auditorium and the Wapiti, so as not to
Is that on the 4th?
on 4th, on the Thursday the 4th, from 2 to 5. Yep, Wendy's come up with a bunch of fun iced teas, and we'll have champagne and fun
Okay,
food.
so people who haven't gone to the luncheon are totally welcome to come to high tea.
High tea, it's free.
So what you need to do is you need to get that word out
Yep.
to all our friends.
All your friends, I mean, we certainly have marketing support. It's been in the paper, but you know that as well as I do, that word of mouth is going to be our best advertising. That all of the women in town who want to come shop, for whatever reason, choose not to come or can't come to the luncheon, can come to the high tea on the 4th. Also, a free event that day it's related to the jewelry and artisan show and sale, and we hope might get a few more, is yoga. Our final yoga on the trail is on the 4th at 10. And those of you who know Ben Ray, he was born and raised here. He makes stunningly beautiful high-end jewelry. He also owns a yoga studio in Seattle where he lives and is an amazing yoga instructor. So he will be our guest yoga instructor at 10.
Cool.
So
Hopefully outside, right? I mean, that's the hope.
ideally outside. We've had to pull it inside 2 times. It's been okay. You know, the weather has kept us inside a couple times. But, so Ben, free yoga with Ben at 10, and so maybe some of those folks might, we hope, come in to the lobby and shop a little bit. The high tea at 2. Then Friday, September 5th, this is our 4th year, I think, for Palettes and Palettes. You all know that the one that happens in town starts at 5 for all the galleries, and it's this really lively event as the launch of the Fall Arts Festival. And we didn't want to compete with that. We can't. No one would come here. So, but lots of people came last year. The weather helped us out a whole bunch. But 3 to 5 here, free, palettes and palettes, margaritas, and yummy Mexican food. Back here, in our sort of benefactor suite area before it gets turned into the benefactor suite. And all the shows are open then. The jewelers are still here. So that's another free event and opportunity to shop for jewelry, check out the show, and start your gallery crawl.
And this was. Thank you.
It said everything will be on display August 30 to September 21st.
True.
Now, if there's still things for sale,
Good.
like because the Art of Bruin, they will still be,
We're going to
On
sell out the
display?
show.
okay. So we don't have to worry
If we don't,
about Art
we
of
will
Bruin.
still sell things after July or September
Okay.
12th.
On the 24th with Art of Bruin, there'll still be some things.
Well, anything that hasn't sold will be available for purchase in advance of the 24th for the whole time. We
Right,
work
right.
our tails off to
So
sell
is
it.
that the end on the 24th, or?
The 24th is like your last opportunity to come shop for anything that may still be available for purchase.
Okay.
But we will sell it throughout the 2 weeks that the show
Right.
is still up
Right.
by making phone calls, by
Okay.
encouraging sales to visitors who are just
Okay.
here and didn't know anything about Western Visions.
So it's not gonna go on as long as it usually does.
It is the exact same amount of time as it
Why am I
usually.
thinking that?
So,
Because it does go,
Just
because everything's
felt
up through October.
October 26th.
But it gets consolidated.
Yeah, it shrinks.
Okay, well, that's what I
Maybe,
meant.
That's what
so,
I'm thinking. Okay.
because people can
It's
start
still
collecting their
available.
purchases,
Still available long.
right, on the 24th.
And we start shipping those
Right.
that are going out.
Okay.
So yes, you're right, it feels like it's up forever because it is. But we shrink it down.
Because anything that's.
So that'll be determined, exactly how much we might still have left and how much we need to shrink it down to.
Oh, Diane, in the guidelines for sales, it explains like the timeline for when people can pick it up, when people can pay, and then when things are still available.
Okay.
So in that one, there
Yeah, I
should
was
be a bunch of
looking at the
information.
wrong page.
Yeah, there's a lot.
I was just confused by September 24th
Yeah.
as the last opportunity, but then
Right.
But
no.
then you had
Until
until
October.
September 24th is the last time to see the complete show. And then after that, they pull out all the paid ones.
Only things that haven't been bought.
Yeah.
Okay.
That would work for them. People love that. Drink coffee, fruit, go buy our.
Okay, so I think that covers everything that's in your packet. Please remember that Marcia's amazing volunteer newsletter that you received already has all of the same information in it. Repeat information. It's also all available on the website. The website is beautiful, has the majority of the art on it, and the prices and the registration procedures. You'll see the catalog tomorrow when you come back at 2 o'clock to help us put them into bags.
They arrived, they made it here.
I haven't checked out the whole website thing, but can we put their credit card information
Yes,
in
they
if they
can.
just want it there?
Yes, they can.
Okay.
I can make a sign.
Wanna make sure.
Andre has made it amazingly easy
Okay.
to do all of that online. Another massive change is no proxy bidding. Again, we don't need it. Without silent bidding, you don't need it. If a person wants to bid in advance, we're calling it, what's your?
Absentee
Absentee
bidding.
bidding. If they are not going to be here They can't physically put their bidding card in a device. Becky is happy to do that for them. And this is very clear on the website as well, like contact Becky Kimmel. And then that communication happens. They will tell, if they are interested in a seal billed item, they're giving that information to Becky. She's going to be very discreet about keeping that information, entering the bid for them. So that is an option. It's just not proxy, because it doesn't need to be. It's absentee, all managed by the director. Lindblad Expeditions, you know, it's a little bit harder to present that.
Right.
They have sent us a screen that we'll put on a monitor right here at the end of King.
Well, that's a good.
So that will be out of the sort of sorting, but we wanted it to be because it's not fine art. We didn't want to have a monitor next to the paintings and sculptures. But it'll still be very obvious that
Right
it's a
here on
sealed
the other
bid
side
item.
of this wall, I
Right,
think, is
thank
where
you.
it will.
Do you think you should advertise that in a separate way? Because everyone just thinks Western Visions is all about art, but this one thing.
Yeah, we're excited about that
You know,
opportunity.
like to have it.
Yeah, we have been. It's a page in the catalog. We mentioned it to the board at the board meetings over the last several months, trying to get the word out that, in fact, if you have not been buying art at Western Visions for the last couple of years because you said that you have more art than you have space for, then here is an option for you.
So there
Yes, indeed.
are printed copies of the Sign Up Genius in the volunteer office. They're out on the table in there. And we will just kind of check that, like we'll definitely do it today and tomorrow after the trainings, and then we will periodically check those and we'll add them to the online sign up. So for those of you that prefer to just have your calendar and all the papers out, you can go ahead and sign up for that in the volunteer office. And as a reminder, we are trying to create some more incentives this year. So if you do 5 or more hours, then you get a catalog for free. If you do 25 or more, you can attend either the Wild 100 Artist Party or the show and sale on Friday for free. That does not include a bidding card, and those hours are based on what you're doing kind of through the Sign Up Genius, not artist research. And then we're also doing the raffle differently. So on September 17th, when we do the thank you luncheon, we will have a raffle based on the number of hours you did. So we'll have like one bowl for, you know, maybe up to 25 hours, and one for up to 50, one for over 50, and those prizes will be bigger and better based on how many hours you do. So do as many hours as you can.